Hi, everybody. Happy Monday and welcome to our first Augie Insider. We're excited to have you here. Thanks for joining us during your lunch hour today. We look forward to getting together with you every Monday at noon during the basketball season to hear from our basketball coaches and student athletes and kind of recap the weekend before and take a look at this weekend's games, trying to keep everybody connected and in touch with us as we make our way through what is surely a unique season this year. So for now, I will turn it over to Athletic Director Josh Morin to get us started.
We're going to start today with women's basketball. Assistant Coach Katie Bourk filling in for Coach Krauth today. So Coach, interesting weekend for your team playing Mankato, picked to win the South Division. You end the weekend with a split. So here we are Monday at noon. How do you guys feel as a coaching staff?
Well, Josh, we were just excited to play again and be given the opportunity to play. It was really nice to get out to the Pentagon and play out there and have fans. So that was great. Splits are kind of how it's maybe going to go a little bit this year. It is when you're going to play the same team back-to-back days. You have all week to prepare for them. So I guess, there's some things definitely we didn't do well, but there's some things we did well. Again, Mankato was picked to win the South, very good team. So to get a split was nice. I think we would have liked to win that one yesterday in overtime, but that's how they go too. So,
yeah, tough. You force overtime. Hannah Mitby drop a play out of bounds. Really nicely done. Still had a chance. And I think you have to be pleased. I think the split days, same team, same opponent, back to back is a challenge, isn't it? Especially if you win that first one, how do you bring your energy and urgency for game two?
Yep. Because that other team is gunning for you. And I guarantee you Mankato probably could have thought after Saturday night's game, hey, we should have won that game too. So it goes both ways. We kind of had a lead and then, Mankato got a lead, but I was really proud of the way our kids kind of found a way. Drew up a nice play, got it to Mitby. She made a great shot. And then again in overtime, just had some things that didn't go our way, kind of hung in there, had a couple of chances too, and then we had to foul at the end, so it kind of got away from us a little bit. I think one of the things that really hurt us in overtime was, Ashlyn Duffy fouled out with about 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, so not having her for that minute stretch kind of really hurt us there. We just we went small. We didn't have that post presence, and again, we got beat up pretty bad on the board. So that's something that we harp on every week. We got to be better on the rebounds. We got to find some kids that want to go get offensive rebounds for us and pull defensive boards for us as well. So those are some things we definitely need to work on.
Yeah, first game's at the Pentagon. First game, with fans. We're taking baby steps here, so it was nice to take that first step. But what was it like to at least have people in the stands?
It was awesome. It's kind of, it's weird either way because you kind of get used to watching games. There's no fans. So then you play a game and you have no fans that very first weekend. It's like, man, this is weird. And then you get to the Pentagon and you have fans. And it's like, this is weird. There's people here. But no, it was great to just see their families again in the stands and have them there. So that was really nice. And again, just the Pentagon's just such a nice atmosphere, whether you have people there or 3,000. So it was just great to have the fans there and really thankful that we could get that done, and everybody at the Pentagon and everybody within our athletic department that's kind of worked to make that possible. So again, our kids were super appreciative and their families were super appreciative of that as well. So
yeah, it was nice, and I look forward to growing those numbers too. Vache Rab, first action of the season. How did you feel, and how did she feel, especially playing and then coming back the next day?
Yeah. Again, I think it was nice for her to get her feet wet. Hasn't played in over a year. Kind of has just started practicing and getting into it. So again, was sore. Again, trying to get over that mental hump a little bit of trying to get back out there. But again, gave us a nice shot in the arm. Again, I know she wants to do more, shoot better, all those things, but just her speed and kind of athleticism gives us another level. So it was nice to get her back out there, kind of integrate her back in with what we're trying to do. And hopefully every week she's just going to get more comfortable and kind of get back up to game shape and game speed and where she wants to be playing at. But it was nice to have her back out there.
Yeah, it was, and the way it was some up and down games. So end up playing a lot of people. So now you go for your first road trip at Concordia-St. Paul. They've had an awfully good start to their season too. What do you? I know we're early in the week here, but your expectations of going to Concordia?
Yeah, to be honest, Concordia is probably the hottest team in our league right now, and especially probably in the South. They have scored like 96 in 3 of their games, and in 2 of their games have beat the teams almost by 50 and 40 points. So they are playing extremely well. They don't do a lot that like overwhelms you. That's like, oh, we can't guard this, or they're trying to take this away. They just play, and they play really well together, and they kind of get it going in transition a little bit, and then they're just really solid. So we're looking forward to kind of going on the road and seeing what we can do there. And again, trying to kind of improve on trying to get 2 instead of just splitting. But again, they're going to be a very, very good team. And we'll have to be ready to go.
All right, Katie, thanks. Sit tight. We'll get some questions for both of you once I'm done with Coach Billeter, but thanks very much. We'll now flip over across the hall there, down the Elman Center, turn to men's basketball. So 2 interesting weekends, Coach Billeter. On the road, you start at Moorhead, you get the sweep. Then we lose 2 over the weekend at Mankato. So 4 games into this very unique season, watching the games with the Mavericks. How are you feeling Monday at noon?
Yeah, well, I mean, you always want to win. I thought, Moorhead's got a very good team. They showed that this weekend by handling Crookston pretty well, and thought we played very well, at Moorhead. There's no reasons or excuses for anything. We missed on Saturday more shots. We missed 56 shots, and Mankato shot 50 total times. We shot 84 shots, and here's what's unique. We had 23 offensive boards. Now, obviously, we missed a lot of shots, but those are hustle plays. Offensive boards against a team like Mankato, who has arguably the best big rebounder in the league in Kelby Kramer. They're a very athletic team. They play hard. And for us to get 23 offensive boards, 46 total rebounds wasn't lack of effort. You give credit to Mankato. They're very athletic. Their perimeter is especially athletic. They're very physical. Style of play favored them. We should have adapted better to it during the game. And we missed a lot of shots. Now, was it because we were wide open and we just didn't make them? No, they were guarded. They were contested. I think, we played a very good defensive team, a very good matchup against us. And, because of that, we lost, both games were close games. I mean, we're tied at 70 under a minute to go on Friday. And we're a 2-possession game almost the entire second half with, I can't remember, 5-6 ties, 5-6 lead changes. So, you're basically looking for 4 or 5 baskets more, and we're feeling awful good right now. But in the end, it's a win or a loss, and we have 2 losses. And as we know, with 4 teams going from the division or whatever, well, then we have to use this this has to wake us up. If that's the case. I don't know how much that really is the case, but hopefully learn from these, and we'll get ourselves going, and we'll learn from it, and can't wait. Wish we were playing tomorrow. Our guys are anxious to move on to the next games.
Yeah, but it's probably good you have a few days, because you've been banged up a little bit too. Nice to see Matt Cartwright back over the weekend, hit his first game action. Nice to have number 23 in your lineup.
What's interesting, Josh, is he practiced one day for half the practice. So he's had one half of a practice in over a year. And to have him even to play as hard as he did, and to do some of the things he did, he didn't score the ball necessarily like he can, but he caused a lot of havoc defensively. He had several deflections, a couple recoveries, a steal. And just his presence out there, the few minutes he played, approximately 17, he got caught up where we were waiting for an under 10 timeout, and he got a few extra minutes that way. But he played 10 the next night. We were only hoping to play him anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes a half. But if you watched, he's out pointing and he's directing and getting us in our stuff, and everyone on the team knows when he talks, what he's talking about is right and it's correct. So just having his presence on the floor sometimes, is even as valuable, if not more so than maybe what the stat sheet says or the amount of points scored. So very good to have him back. Obviously we missed Dylan LeBrun this weekend. He's a big part of what we do. He's a very strong athletic wing. He's one of our better perimeter defenders. He's one of our best drivers. Last time we did play Mankato last year, he had one of his best games of the season, one of his most complete games. And, that's something where, again, opportunity for someone else to step up. And that's what you have to do, because everyone with this, especially in the adverse conditions of COVID, everyone's going to be losing a player or two here and there. You know what I mean? That's just the way it's
Yeah.
going to be. So, but I'd be amiss. I want to, still, we wish we had Dylan. He would have been, he's such a part of our team. But boy, even just him on the sideline, he was very, very vocal and very involved in the game. And he helped us in so many ways, even when he wasn't playing this past weekend. So, great way to open with Moorhead, a very good team. Lost 2 tough games up in Mankato, but kind of nice. I know KB was mentioning, regardless of the situation, fun to be in the Pentagon, great place to play. We are very happy to be home. It's nice. It's nice to be back to Sioux Falls and get an opportunity to practice and play out at the Pentagon. We're looking forward to that.
Well, and like everything is different this year for on so many levels, travel being one of them. You've now done it twice. So curious what you, aside from saying now I'm really happy to be home, but what about travel protocols during COVID and what you learned getting out of routines?
I know what you're getting at. The travel is travel. That was okay. We sat, distance and seats and all that. But the unique part was, okay, in Fargo 2 weeks ago when we played Moorhead, we stayed in Fargo, or 10 days ago. They had a hotel situation where they allowed us in a meeting room. They allowed us to meet as a team. We were able to do our walkthroughs in the hotel. We were able to stretch in a ballroom. We were able to watch film as a team. The Minnesota protocols, which conveniently changed today, which didn't help us Friday and Saturday. 2 people in a room. We could never get together as a team. We ate our pregame meal from Perkins. We had it delivered, and each roommate sat in their room by themselves eating pregame, looking at their scout. We stretched in a hallway, and we never were together. So, and all we've talked about all year, guys, this is going to be one of the most unique, greatest years ever. There's going to be something different every single time, and you have to adjust to it, and you got to be ready for it. And we're going to make the best of every single situation we're in. And that's what we continue to preach. So that had nothing to do with us not winning the game at all. It was just different. It was different to prepare that way. And that's how this year is going to be. And as you said, heck, we might have fans this weekend, Josh. And then 2 weeks, we might not be having fans again, or, it's just going to be that way. And we all know it, and our guys are prepared for it. And we're cherishing the opportunity just to be playing.
Yeah. So now we're back at the Pentagon. Excited that we are able to be at about 20% capacity. So there will be good tickets available. It's safe. It's a safe environment. Boy, we felt really good about everything we had this weekend. So I encourage people. Tickets will go on sale Thursday at noon. A club members, you get first crack 24 hours in advance. But aside from I would imagine in some ways you start the year two weekends on the road makes home look even better.
Yeah, we're it's funny, and not having fans is different. I don't think it's quite the home court advantage that you would normally have. I just don't. But it's still home. You're still in your own bed. You're still having your food situation.
Yeah.
You're still meeting and having your walkthroughs and what have you. So there's still advantage of being home. But being on the road is not horrible. It really isn't, and there's advantages to both. Having said that, we're very happy to be home, and we love the Pentagon. We like going out there. It's great for recruiting. It's great for us to be out there. And so we're looking at it, but, and I love the question. I appreciate it, but, had nothing to, we didn't shoot. We didn't miss 56 shots because we were on the road for our 4th game. Some of that was Mankato's defense, and some of that was us just not making shots. And so we're going to work on that all week and get better at it.
Yeah. Quickly, what do you know about Concordia on the men's side?
Well, Matt Fletcher, who I remember coaching against him when he played at Southwest Minnesota State, and was a great shooter. He's done a great job. He's a good young up and coming coach. The job he did at Bethany and Mankato was phenomenal. And it's his first year, first team. They've got a lot of new bodies. They'll play hard. It'll be a great game. I mean, everybody that comes to the Pentagon, you and I laugh, but they love playing there. It's kind of it helps you, but it hurts you, because every team that comes in there, you're never going to get them on a flat night, because they just love playing there so much, and how they're treated in the locker room situation and what have you. So we'll get Concordia's best punch. They had a very nice, they opened the season with a win. They played very well against Crookston, came back the next night, lost in overtime, and then had 2 tough games at Wayne. But Wayne is Wayne. They're always going to be the same. They're going to guard they're going to guard you the living heck out of you, and they're going to make you earn every basket, and never an easy game against them. So, right now they're still finding themselves a little bit, but it'll be a great game. And like you said earlier, having Matt back, hopefully we get a couple of 3 days of practice in here going full speed and get him a little bit more on par with what we do, and getting him back into basketball shape and timing and conditioning. So awful lot of good things for us to look forward to. And, we need to come out ready to play. We need to go play. We need to do what we do and get last week out of our system. And, everything to us is next play, next game. That one's over. We can't change it, but we sure can make sure that, it doesn't happen again. We gotta come out ready to go.
Yeah. So a reminder, 7 o'clock Friday, 3 o'clock on Saturday. Got some questions in the chat. Coach Bourk, I'm going to start with you. What did Lauren have going well on Saturday for her career high? 28 points, I believe. Same for Izzy. Then on Saturday, senior had a great game on Sunday, rather. What worked well for the two of them this weekend?
Yeah, I thought, it was kind of funny, like after the game, looking at the stat sheet, I'm like, oh, Lauren had 28 points. So it wasn't like a blow you away 28 points. But she did make some big shots kind of down the stretch Saturday night that we needed. Shot the three kind of well. She hit 4 threes, but I thought what she did really well was get to the free throw line. She got there 12 times, and that's something we're not always great at. And again, we want her to use her speed and attack the basket. So I thought she did that. And then again, you kind of get your confidence going a little bit. And she knocked down some other shots. So again, I just thought she shot the ball well and got herself going. Izzy's one of those kids that she works hard, and she just does everything right for her. She does all the little things. She had her career high in points, but she had 11 rebounds as well, probably for her first double-double. So that was huge. 5 offensive rebounds. She's kind of always that kid that's in there keeping balls alive for us, just doing those hustle and toughness plays. Again, she's kind of a 3-point shooter. She hit 5 of them. But again, kind of had her mid-range game going. She got a lot of and ones on those, which was kind of cool.
She did, yeah.
But again, I just thought she shot the ball well. And again, with Mankato's defense is kind of different, but our kids did a good job of just driving, finding her, and then again, she kind of made the open shots. So.
Yeah, great to see a senior have that kind of weekend too. Coach Billeter, a question for you is a question about Trevor Hansen.
Right. I'm glad that's been brought up. It happened last COVID, last April, May, Trevor came in and met with us and our staff. And, I don't know if people know this, but Trevor's broken that same foot 3 or 4 times, and he's had a couple different surgeries. This last surgery, it's funny, Dr. Neely performed it, said it's the longest screw he's ever utilized or used in a foot type injury. And this last time they had to even put in a bigger plate. And the pain is just there. He couldn't run. He couldn't do the things he needs to do without pain. And, it comes to a point where Trevor, first of all, of just talent and what have you, is Trevor is a phenomenal talent. Would have been, he's a great player for our system, and he's even better person. He called me 2 months ago. We're trying to set up a hunt to go on hunt. He's a big hunter, and he's an outdoors person, and part of that plays into it. He wants to be able to get married and have kids and take his kids hunting, and he wants to be able to do those things in life, and he should. That's very important. But one of my favorite kids. It's hard. You almost get. I miss him. I wish this hadn't had to have happened. I would have loved for him to continue to play, but with the effect of his latest surgery and what have you, and the pain in his foot, he gave it all he had, and he sure tried, and he wanted to go, but he's just he ended up retiring and at a pretty young age, but hopefully down the road no type of permanent, or I hope the ramifications down the road are, I hope he has as normal life as he can, because he deserves it, and he's an absolutely great kid from a great family.
Yeah, no, I miss having him around the Elm Center for sure. He's a great personality.
Good personality, absolutely.
This is a question for both of you. I'll stick with Coach Billeter first, but back-to-back opponents, same team, same site, and the same officials. When you look around the league, you did see some teams that are 2-0. Reminder, that first weekend for people, it was considered non-conference, so we played the North, so it's not considered part. So when you see the standings, you'll see 2-0 or 0-2 or 1-1. But what's your initial take? You've gone through it now 2 weekends of this interesting format.
Well, the refs lost us both games. I just want no. You know what I've noticed? I think we all know it. So I think the coaches and the refs are trying to work well together because we know we've got the same crew 2 nights in a row. And I think everyone's pretty sensitive to it and pretty aware. I haven't noticed that to be the issue that I thought it could be going into it. And the question is well asked, but I think it's been fine. Good and bad. I'll tell you one thing, Josh, we've been on the road now for 4 straight games, and it sure was nice after each first night game, because one was Friday, one was a Saturday first night games, to just go back to your hotel, break the film down with your staff, and get ready for the next day instead of jumping on that bus and heading up to Concordia after Friday night's Mankato game, or even after playing at Moorhead, jumping into a 3-hour drive down to Aberdeen and getting in at 2 a.m. That isn't a lot of fun. And so you play your game, you go back to your hotel, you break it down, you get ready for the next day. Your scout is similar, you tweak some things, but from all of those for all of that, it's really cool. I mean, the scouting is different, everything's different. The negative is a little bit, possibly, is you would, one thing that you kind of wish is you would like to get that opportunity to play those teams at your place too within your division. And you can't. And this is the only real format. Thank goodness we're playing. This is not an excuse, but I would love to have in your division the home and home opportunity. But we won't, and we will again someday. But that, I'm just trying. If you honestly want to ask me one thing that you miss is I'd love to have Mankato come, and maybe we'll play them in the tournament. But I'd love an opportunity to play them in the Pentagon as well. And I'll bet you, after Concordia this weekend, Concordia would love to have us up there. You know what I mean? I think that's similar for everybody.
Yeah. KB, how about you?
Yeah, I kind of just echo Coach B's thoughts where it's, from a travel standpoint or just the scouting standpoint. I just kind of, like I said, I think it's going to be tough to split or tough to go 2-0 at times. I think you're going to see quite a bit of splits. And again, it goes both ways, but just for like us personally, or even a team like Mankato that can, Mankato gives you just a different look on defense. So when you have a different Saturday opponent where they can't spend all week working on that, I think it kind of puts almost you at a little bit of a disadvantage, or a team like us where we will mix our defenses, we'll do different things. Now the team has all week to prepare to play you for 2 games.
Yeah.
You're not going to surprise anybody with your zone. And now we've used ours enough. Teams know, but again, still that Saturday when we had a different opponent, you didn't have all week to get ready for that. And so I think, and again, that goes both ways. Now you have all week to prepare for what the other team is doing as well. But I think, again, it just kind of creates a little bit of a difference there. And again, maybe you got to be a little bit more tactical too, because that team has all week to prepare for you.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Coach, the last question in the chat, we addressed it briefly, but Dylan, the question is Dylan going to be back? I can answer that yes. But
yeah,
that's the simple answer.
Yeah, no. This has nothing to do with any other. All my guys are, but Dylan has a different threshold of pain than most normal human beings. I think if it's even just hanging by a ligament, he would figure out if he got caught in some bear trap somewhere, he'd figure out a way to play that next night. So it's day to day. I don't know if he'll play, but I know no one's trying harder to get back into play as soon as he can. Where will he be? I have no idea, but I would never question, nor anyone on my team, that especially Dylan's toughness and desire to get back. And we need him, we want him. I mean, he needs to get back for us to be where we want to be, because now we add Matt and, we're getting our pieces back. And so everything, the future is just phenomenal, and again, you look at, 2 losses, but 8 baskets in a whole weekend. If you just get 8 more baskets, figure out, did you miss 8 shots that you usually do make, whatever, you're right there. And so, it's still just a great season ahead, and it's a lot of fun. Love this group. And, I think some of the best things in life are when you have to go through a little bit of something like a couple losses, because in my experience, all it's ever done is make you better. And that's what we're going to make sure.
Pretty good. All right. Well, Coach, you froze up for a second. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Emily to wrap it up.
Hey, yeah. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yep. Now we got you. We got you.
Sorry.
Emily's going to wrap it up. This is great. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. This is a good idea. We need to do it. We'll get our student athletes on here, men and women. All we'll do is continue to build. Thanks to people that were listening today, but this is a good thing, and we'll continue to do this. Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you both.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Don't forget to mark your calendar. We'll be doing this every Monday throughout the basketball season. And don't forget to get your tickets this week to be back out at the Pentagon for men's basketball. You can also watch the women's basketball games online, goaugie.com/live. So be sure to watch all of those. But thank you all. I hope you have a great week. We'll see you at the Pentagon this weekend and right back here next Monday. Bye.